I'm having so much fun showing you guys the Emerald Coast and its amazing vibes, but I felt it was important to break the plan for this Q&A because many of us who have been watching the movie for nearly a decade are growing weary. And then we had this whole midterm election thing, which worried people more. So let's take a look at a comment by A. Jeff Guro 3247.
The ex-pharmacist, Soros and Gates are both worn diffed. Gates was hung in 2013, and Soros and his offspring Alex are on their way out, if not already. I don't see either coming online probably until after the midterms that I believe is BS to get these corrupt judges off the bench. We or Trump and his people know they are corrupt as hell. Why continue to punish the citizens as in suffering and trying to scrape by to survive when all this could end within a couple months? How much more do the people need to see and suffer? Think about it. 9 years now this has been going on. We are being treated like children that we cannot think on our own after being woke up. All these new news channels out there like RAV, OAN, Newsmax, and others are basically treating us like the deep state did for how long, talking about all these big players that are already dead, and their actors are out there making us believe they are still breathing. It's BS and needs to end. This administration isn't doing anything for the lower-class crumb scrappers that's trying to survive on what's brushed off these elites' $5,000 suits while enjoying all their top foods, etc. Just tired of the BS.
Yeah, that's how a lot of us feel, honestly. I chose to do this Q&A because I know that Jeff is not alone. I hit my wall a few years ago and I've come to a quiet understanding and faith in the universe and the spirit of mankind. Remember that there are truths and lies that have been strategically told by both sides. It's important to understand that we are destroying a matrix of control that took 107 years to build. It has survived many decades and many administrations. Others have attempted to break it down, and none survived. In actuality, we don't know if Trump survived, but we hope and pray. This is not about one man. It's so much bigger, and what is happening in our world didn't begin with Donald Trump. This invisible war has been in the planning stages for a very long time. Even during Trump's first term, a foundation was laid, and apparently it was necessary to give these people enough rope during the Biden administration to put them away forever. Sun Tzu's The Art of War directly addresses the importance of time, patience, and restraint as essential elements of true strength in warfare. Sun Tzu saw time as a weapon and patience as a form of power, not passive waiting, but strategic stillness that allows one to move decisively when the moment is right. I can tell you that I've seen many things that tell me that the principles of the art of war have been used in this battle. Regarding Gates, Biden and others being gone years ago, most of these reports originated from someone who goes by the pseudonym of Michael Baxter of Real Raw News, and he claims to have military connections. But Michael has remained pretty anonymous, so it's difficult to confirm the validity of his reports. What he has shared is that he's a former mainstream journalist and former English teacher. The domain is registered through a proxy, so I wasn't able to confirm it there. I understand the probability of some previous exterminations, but I need proof because credibility is everything, and I try very hard to preserve mine. So until I have some sort of validation, I think that there's a good chance that these things have happened, but I just can't confirm them. I don't know the whys of what is taking so long either, but I have just put this in the same box of my mind and emotions as the creator or God thing. How can I know the hows or the whys? This is something that has asked for a lot of faith from patriots. Remember that when you say we are awake, you are still talking about a minority of people. There are some that will never wake up. There are a lot that are teetering but still don't get the enormity of it all. Then there's those of us that have been waiting a very long time. Some have gotten the 3D component, but they haven't made the connection with extraterrestrials or energy dynamics and a 5D existence yet. Awakening is like an onion to me, not a light switch. There are many layers, and it can take decades or longer to become fully awakened. This is nothing new. Higher consciousness has been apparent in individuals over time. I don't remember a mass conscious elevation since perhaps the Renaissance. The media that you speak of are deep state-controlled media. They are faced now with marching orders to do exactly what they are doing. They continue to control the narrative and are making patriots weary. That's their role, and we can't allow them to take back control of our minds. They want us turning against Trump. They have from the beginning. They want us to feel angry and fearful because that's how they win. We must do everything to not let them control our emotions again. They went from mass apathy to mass anger and now mass disempowerment. All such very low frequencies. Also remember that the white hats have their actors too, so personally I think that it's all a very planned and deliberate part of the awakening. So, I'm confused. Is it Trump or Trump's cabinet that you haven't seen action from? As far as Trump, do you think the tariffs, removal of the illegal immigrants, the whole auto pen invalidating so much, the saving of almost $1 trillion a year in waste and fraud is action? I do. Also, Hegseth has given dirty generals their instructions. FBI has got numerous investigations and over 5,000 sealed indictments. And I can tell you from my past as a drug agent, prosecutions can take years, depending on how hard they fight, and from what we've seen, these targets have lots of money to fight in the courts, even though they know it will be overturned in SCOTUS. As you said, is this to flush out these crooked judges? Maybe, but I usually say, if I can think of something, then it's probably something much more obscure. A good intel operation is not generally obvious to the average person. Then you have RFK Jr. and hundreds of food chains are announcing that they are cleaning up their menu, including McDonald's. They're cutting off billions in food stamp and Section 8 housing fraud. It's so odd how people see things differently. I see this administration like an octopus with many tentacles reaching out and attacking numerous different aspects that affect our lives. So they're doing this, and the entire time, everything they're doing is being held up in the district courts, and everything needs to go to the Supreme Court to get done. They have enacted the most comprehensive plan to dismantle this matrix. More than anyone in history. Hopi Prophesy foretold the man in the red hat as the cleanser, and everything points to that man being Donald Trump. I'll link that video at the end and in the description. Personally, I've never seen any president in my lifetime that has done so much for this country. He bought his suits long before he became president, and they have tried to take them away from him since he came down the elevator. I think you mean the wealthy suits that he's making deals with, and I've thought about that too. There are likely quite a few powerful people who they don't have a case on, and I think that it's necessary to have these power brokers on your side if they are going to be around, and making them invest money is a great way of getting them to have some skin in the game. So I think he's just working with these wealthy and influential people from a standpoint of power that few could convey. Part of awakening is understanding that raising our collective vibration is the only way we are ever going to live on a peaceful planet. Anons fed on the 3D aspect of everything, but there is much more to it. Very little was addressed by number 17 related to the quantum aspect of everything. It was, we're going to get all this stuff, and almost none ever said that we were going to have to be active co-creators or how it was going to happen. In fact, I don't think number 17 ever talked about the ET connection either. I don't know why, but do your best to hang on and be grateful that this is happening in our lifetime. It's bigger than most can comprehend. And remember, patience isn't the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting.